Donald Trump gets reelected, I and people like myself are going to make a lot of money. I am going to get a lot of tax breaks, I'm going to get buybacks, and I'm going to get handsomely rewarded with dividends because the S&P 500 will mostly go up. But the thing is, even though the S&P 500 and other indexes are going to go up, everybody else's wages will most likely stagnate or decline. Fortunately, Donald Trump is such a good propaganda machine that everyone who voted for him, the millions of people that may actually do it, will think that this country is doing better than it ever has because he told them. And with all of the money that I will be making, I am most likely going to buy more properties which are going to be unaffordable for over 90% of the population. But me and people like me will be able to gobble them up for prices that are relatively cheap to people like us because of all of the tax breaks that we will be getting. And of course, a lot of people are going to protest this, but by this point, Donald Trump getting reelected will galvanize his supporters to thinking that they could get away with whatever they want. And they can. So, what me and people like me will be able to do about those protesters is just convince our own armies, who are the Trumpers, that the people who are protesting are the reasons why your wages are low, why your children don't have a good quality of life. We will just tell those people that the protesters are the reason why, and then we will have our own army against the protesters. And those protesters will lose because they are most likely very armed, they are much more organized, and they have the support of wealthy people. People like me will start to see our own power status start to elevate once again over everybody else. We will see that our votes start to matter than everyone else's. So our voting power will increase at the expense of, let's say, 90 to 95% of the overall population, and they will not be able to do anything about it because the Trumpers will be able to keep them in check. Instead of the $100 billion that we will be giving to Ukraine, that will just go in to fill corporate profits, which I can benefit from immensely. Another thing, that $1 trillion reinvestment plan, the Make America Better by Joe Biden, will go out the window. And those hundreds of billions of dollars that we're going to go into, let's say, charging stations and other kind of national infrastructure will most likely go towards corporate subsidies, which again will just make me so much more money. Effortlessly rich just by my vote. Donald Trump getting reelected and all of his supporters and people like myself who are making a lot of money, we are going to do everything we can to keep our status and profits. So you will start to see a huge red right-wing movement come over across the country, the likes of which no one else has ever seen, because Donald Trump literally got away with starting a not insurrection. And you will start to see more conservative judges, more conservative local politicians, more conservative local legislation supported by a conservative Supreme Court that will be doing everything to support my interests, financially at least, and people like me. And once again, I and people like myself will be gaining so much more wealth and power, and we are not going to be giving anything back to the masses. Oh, wait, no, don't get me wrong. It's going to trickle down to you. Now, please go. Make America great again.